you ever feel like no matter how many to-do lists you write, you're still drowning in assignments and procrastination? Because girl, you're not alone. But in this video, I'm giving you 10 life-changing productivity hacks that you've probably never heard of before, but need for this semester. These hacks are your key to maintaining your sanity. Your time is one of the most valuable things that you have, so I'm not gonna waste any more of it. So let's get straight on with it with hack number 1, the 3-tier task system. This hack is perfect for you if you are someone who frequently overplans and commits yourself to way too many things. So instead of writing endless to-do lists, I want you to categorize your tasks into 3 different categories. Number 1, your high impact tasks. These are things that you absolutely must get done. Pressing study sessions for an upcoming exam or maybe a paper's due. These are also things that push you towards your long-term goals. You want to study for your exam so that you can get a good grade in the test. This impacts your future. Tier number 2 are your maintenance tasks. These are routine tasks that keep things running smoothly but aren't super urgent. This could be making sure that your notes are organized, maybe rewriting them. It's not the most pressing thing, but it is something to keep in mind. And for tier number 3, we have your quick wins that you can probably complete in just a few minutes. These are really simple tasks that are mindless. You want to choose 1 or 2 high priority tasks. Schedule in your maintenance tasks. These should be scheduled during your lower energy times of the day, like in the mid-afternoon when you're kind of having a crash. Write out a list of all of your quick wins that you would love to get done. Keep them to the side just as a little mental note. For instance, this could be responding to an email. You really don't need to set aside a dedicated time to do this. You honestly could just do it between passing periods in class. Always keep an eye on how urgent your tasks are becoming. If you had dedicated organizing your notes to a tier 2 task, but you realize that it's getting out of control and it's impacting the way you absorb information in class in your current lectures, then this needs to move up to tier 1. So for my morning block, this could be from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I will work on my research paper because this requires a deep level of focus. Your energy is always higher and your mind is always sharper in the morning. Then when I start hitting that midday slump from 12 to 2 p.m., I will organize my apartment and prep for the upcoming week. From about 3 to 5 p.m., I could reply to my emails, water my plants, feed the cat. And when I start having my evening burst of motivation, I can study for my philosophy test. Imagine this, you're so bogged down with every little thing that you have to do that you just simply don't know where to start. This method really helps with decision fatigue. This moves on to my second tip, which is always to supply your brain and body with highest quality food and drink. I mentioned this drink in my previous video, but I would love to introduce you guys again to Magic Mind. This is a mental performance shot that really can help you optimize your productivity and brain performance throughout the day, manage your stress levels, and I love having this in the morning or whenever I'm feeling myself fall into a bit of a slump. It's a drink chock full of nutrients and antioxidants that will have you feeling your best. If you guys are interested and want to get a discount on your first purchase for the next 10 days, then I have a code and link for you. They will be linked in the description box. Hack number 3, create an anti-procrastination playlist. Curate a list of some of your favorite songs and make different playlists for different amounts of time. So you can have an inner session that's about 45 minutes, an hour and a half. When you repeatedly play these songs, it's going to form a connection in your brain that when you hear this song, you know that it is time to lock in. If you set yourself a specific time frame, okay, we have a countdown, we need to have structure. Start with something slower just because you're gonna gain momentum as you start working. Hack number 4, the 2-minute transition. So you know when you're eating something extremely flavorful and then you go to transition and eat another thing that's super flavorful and the flavors get so mixed up and jumbled that it honestly tastes gross and you can't even tell what it's supposed to taste like in the first place? This is why you drink water, in order to cleanse your palate. Same thing with studying. If you start studying a subject and you don't give yourself any sort of break or reset in between them, your brain is gonna start cluttering and jumbling up all of this information, and it's going to be harder for you to separate these two things from each other in your mind. Signal to yourself that you are mentally shifting from one subject to another. Deep breathing, some stretching, anything that marks as a little intermission between each of your tasks is going to help you reduce your mental clutter when recalling things. Hack number 5, this might be a little bit controversial, but I say to have single focus weeks. Say you have an exam or a paper that's coming up. You aren't going to be able to focus on your social life as much this week as you typically would. We all know that multitasking sometimes isn't the best for the rewards that we want want to reap. Take out your planner, get some highlighters. Pink can be your self-care week. Blue can be your academic week. And yellow can be your social week. Hack number 6, increase your dopamine while studying. This taps into behavioral conditioning, where we create habits by linking them to pleasurable experiences. If every single time you study, you end up having a mental breakdown because you just are so overwhelmed and you don't know what to do with yourself, you're gonna start to hate studying, because when you think of studying, you're reminded of having a mental breakdown. As for hack number 7, we have habit stacking. This is something that's mentioned in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I think that it's a really smart way of being able to get yourself to do something by pairing it with something that you already do anyway. I'm really trying to work on this, taking my medication, taking all my vitamins whenever I brush my teeth in the morning and nighttime, just because I already brushed my teeth anyway. Make sure that things are accessible to you. Something that I have found to be very important is knowing what to sacrifice, because simply put, you just cannot put 100% your best into absolutely everything that you do. It's just not possible. So depending on how much an assignment is worth, how much it weighs on your grade, I would recommend to weigh out your priorities in what you want to spend the most amount of focus on. This has really helped me because yes, I can compromise on some things, but I can still get an A+ in the class. Focus on the things that are going to have the most impact on your grade overall. This also brings me to my next hack, which is to abandon that perfectionist mindset. I know that it's very easy for us to fall into the trap of perfectionism, but nothing is ever going to be perfect, and at least for me, chasing perfectionism is an endless struggle. Sometimes time doesn't allow for that, and sometimes just our own mental capacity does not allow for that. We can't pour all of ourselves into something. You also have to realize that the majority of people that are going to be reviewing your work do not see the same flaws in it as you might, just because you've been staring at it for so long. It's always good to get a pair of fresh eyes. Have someone read over your paper. Get a good night's sleep before you end up submitting something. But out of all of these tips, the most important thing is number 10, to protect your mental health. The semester is really starting to ramp itself up. I am getting way more work than I was in the first few weeks of school, and a little bit tough to be able to balance everything. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that your body is a body, a living thing, that you are not a machine by any regard. Especially with seasonal depression coming up for a lot of people, this tip is more important than ever. And I hope that this video helped you in some regard. Comment down below which of these hacks were your favorite, which ones you're gonna try out. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video.